Good morning, this is Dr. Richard Pennington with the chemistry program at Georgia Gwinnett College. What I want to show you in this video is about how to use our hot plate. Our hot plate is also our stir plate, and there are some things that we've got to make sure we're clear about when we're using this. I want to show you about the stir functionality first, okay? And we're going to start off with the location of your stir bar. This little guy, can everybody see there's a little white stir bar inside this vial? You're going to find this in your drawer, all right? So the first piece I'm going to show you is using the conical vial. One thing that's really important about this is that your stir bar has to be centrally located on the top of the stir plate. So I'm going to pop this into the vial, and what you'll see is that if you don't have the stir bar centrally located on the stir plate, it's not going to work well. So let me turn on the stir function, and you don't need to turn it up very high, okay? Let me show you that if I put this here, notice it stirs a little bit and actually stirs better the closer you get it to the center of the plate. So that's centrally located. You'll find that particularly if you raise it up, it still stirs. Now it doesn't stir, so you've got to make sure that it's centrally located, particularly if it's raised up, because you're going to find if you're using a sand bath or an aluminum block, it is raised up. So that is key. Make sure that the stir bar is centrally located. Also notice the fact that I don't have the stirring turned on very high. It's on like 1 or 2. Don't turn it all the way up. You don't need it high at all. Now, I'm going to show you the same thing but with our round bottom flask, okay? And what I'm actually going to show you is when we have it hooked up to our condenser. I'm going to hold the condenser in this clamp, and I'm just holding the round bottom flask with, together with the condenser with the blue cap and the black gasket. And remember, you want to have these centrally located. So you may have to move things around a little bit, but again, central location is key. So let me turn the stir on again, and notice that it stirs. This is all you want. Stirring like this is fabulous. Don't turn it all the way up like this, because then it just spins all over the place and it doesn't help at all. Notice it's not really stirring at all. It's going crazy, all right? When you turn it back down again, it starts doing what it's supposed to. But what if you want to actually heat something up, okay? Suppose you could just breathe on it until it heats up, but there is actually a better way to do it. We have a heat function down on the stir plate, so this actually functions in 2 different ways. You can just turn on the heat, just like so, and if I was just to do this and pop it right down there, how effective do you think that heating would be? Well, if you think about it, this is a round bottom flask, so not much of that flask is actually touching the metal plate. That's not really of any use. So I'm going to raise this up. Notice the further I raise it up, the less stirring happens. Now I'm going to put on my sand bath. And the idea is, as I heat up the heat block, that heats up the sand. And then I'm going to lower this back down. Now, you can see that it's stirring here. All right? You may not be able to see it when I lower it into the sand, but trust me, it's still stirring. Okay? And you want to lock that. Lock it in place. It's still stirring. So that is one way to heat something up, using the sand bath, and that's probably the piece that you'll use the most. But there is another option, using this guy. This is an, what I would call an aluminium block. That's the right way to say it. You guys use the aluminum block, and I guess that'll do. So what we're going to do is we're going to lower this in. All right, notice it's stirring again. And because you want to have this centrally located, then you just want to arrange the aluminium block the best way you think appropriate. All right, so like so. What if we wanted to do the same thing with our conical vial? It's actually not a problem. because then with that conical vial we can just pop it right on there. It's stirring, and because it's flat, you'll be able to get good heating. Okay? But if you really wanted good heating, or better heating I should say, put the aluminium block back on. There is a recess there for the conical vial. I don't know whether you can see that or not, but if I hold it here, you can see it stirring. That is the hot and stir plate. Before you do anything, make sure that when you first see this, check that both of these work. Check both the lights come on, check the stirring works, check the heat works. I'll leave it up to you to decide how to check whether the heat's working. It doesn't involve sticking your tongue on it, but you use whatever method you think appropriate to see if it's heating or not. Once you're done, turn everything off. Take everything off here. Reach over, unplug it. You want to let this cool down before you wrap the wires back around and put it back in your drawer. All right, unless you want a hot and steamy drawer where all your stuff is. All right, and there is the details of the hot stir plate and all the equipment you'll be using with it. Thank you.